Hey everyone, just give me a second while we get this going here.
We're getting set up.
Alright, testing the sound. Looks good.
Frugal BC is back.
Brian from Frugal BC is back.
No mustache this time. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Alright.
Did you just have the sound up?
Yeah, I was just turning it up so that it was
Gotcha.
showing both of us. Alright, so today, Ryan from Ebike Escape here, and today we're doing another live unboxing. If you're watching this after the fact, there will be a link in the description to this bike, and if you decide to purchase it or you're looking at any of the Troxus electric bikes, I'd appreciate it if you use that link. Help support the channel, keeps me making videos. There will also be links to other resources, our electric bike accessories list, top e-bike brands page, and our electric bike discounts code page. And if you use any of the links within those pages, they also help support me. So Troxus, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, reached out to me. They said, would you like to review one of our electric bikes? And I said, absolutely. They let me pick the model, so I was able to select the SkyHopper model that you can see here.
Hey guys, if you like what Ryan's doing here, make sure to smash that like button.
And so this is a smaller frame. You can see in the picture, we'll see it here in just a second. They also have a fat tire electric bike as well, if you're interested. This still has fat tires, but a full-size 26-inch fat tire bike. And so, yeah, we're going to check it out. They also make scooters, and I believe they're going to send me one, so I'll maybe do a video on that. And of course, if you're watching this live and you want to ask me anything about this bike or any other electric bikes or anything else, I'm happy to answer. That's why we do these videos, just because I do get a lot of emails, and sometimes it's just easier to answer the questions live.
And if you like Balto, go ahead and subscribe to the channel.
Alright, let's see what we got here. So I would say the box got beat up a little bit in shipping, and but we'll see if there's any damage.
This won't be as easy as our last one.
Yeah, so if you're here last time, Brian and I unboxed the electric XP, which I just did a video on today actually, and that was a folding electric bike. The box was quite a bit smaller. You pull it out, put the handlebars on, and you're done. It takes longer to take the zip ties off than it takes to actually put the bike together. So looks like we got a little bit more work here. Alright. Whew. A little heavier.
How did you do this on your own?
Usually Allie helps me. Alright, so we have some stuff just thrown in the box. We'll take a look at that. That's a handle for the other side. Alright.
I'm like, where in the wheel does this go?
Instruction manual and front skewer. Put that off to the side. Pedals.
Very important.
And the toolkit. It's really funny, this bag. So many people or so many different companies use the exact same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the same bag that says toolkit. Usually different tools actually inside it. I think that's it.
All right.
Move this out of the way.
If you didn't know it was a toolkit, you do now.
See the bottom of the box. All right, maybe let's just slide it over a little bit. Alrighty, let's see, maybe we'll, oh that's good. Alright, we'll get our trusty little snips out. I recommend using these, but you can also buy the ones at Harbor Freight for about $3. I have a pair of those, and those work really well.
Those not Harbor Freight.
These are not, these are Vice Grip brand side cutters. I've just had these for a while, but always nice when you're putting together an electric bike to have a pair of these, because you're going to undoubtedly be cutting a lot of zip ties.
You should get a sponsorship from Harbor Freight. Maybe
There
they
we
supply
go.
all your tools.
There you go, yeah. And again, if you're joining us live, feel free to ask any questions. Happy to answer them. This will be an interesting electric bike. So Troxus, obviously, I'm sure many people watching this have not heard of them. I mean, I hadn't until they reached out to me. So seems like they have made They started with scooters maybe, and then they went on to electric bikes. So they have launched with those two models. And the reason I kind of picked this one was because it has that smaller frame, as we'll see here in a second. Looks like we have to actually install that fender.
So this is a fat bike model. We got it's a 20 by 4.0,
Yep.
so true fat tire. Like if you guys remember the electric last week, that was only three inch,
Yep.
yeah. So not quite a full fat tire, although obviously fatter than a standard mountain bike.
Let's look at that tire. Kenda tire on there.
It looks like it means business.
Yeah, definitely. Those have some pretty big knobs on them, I feel like. And black with a sticker, a Troxus sticker on here. It looks like it says Troxus Metro.
It's kind of a matte finish on that frame.
Yeah.
Another glossy looking like it's touching somebody's.
Looks like we have a front integrated light here. I'll actually wait to take that one off. It looks like the bike's in pretty good shape. Front suspension with a lockout. And this bike is currently priced at $15.99, which I feel like I used to view the $1,500 price point as kind of like the sweet spot, but a lot of companies have actually increased their prices as of late. So some of those $1,500 e-bikes are now, $15.99.
When you say 1,500, do you mean for this fat bike style?
Yeah, a lot of different styles. Like
I'd say like the commuter styles seem there's a lot of them in the 10, 11, or I should say 1,000 to 1,100
Yeah.
to 1,200 range.
I feel like when you get to the fat tires, you're definitely looking at more. And speaking of prices, actually today, Aventon, I'll be reviewing the Aventon Adventure bike, and they increased the price of that bike $100 today.
Oh no. My story's inaccurate.
Well, that's a little bit of a nicer fat tire.
Yeah, be a little careful running these cables in.
Yeah.
So we got Shimano Atlas derailleur.
Altus, yep.
Atlas, yeah, that's what I meant.
Pretty standard for electric bikes in this price range. I've seen Altus a lot. It's one of those. It's not the lowest end of the Shimano entry level group set, but
There's the keys.
yeah. Lots of zip ties here. Looks like our chain is off.
Kenda must be doing a crazy good business in the e-bike market. It seems like they're one of the more common tire manufacturers that most of the e-bike brands go with.
I think it's partly due to them being really affordable as well. CST and Xiaoyang are other companies I've seen more,
Yeah.
and some brands are saying it'll ship with
One of the
one of these, some amount, or one brand or whatever they can basically get in stock. So let's see, we got a kickstand over here. Looks like Tektro Aries mechanical disc brakes, again a very common component in this price range. I mean, like all the rad power bikes models have it except for the new Rover 6 Plus. Just taking out the little protector. How come you're not drinking a beer putting that bike together? We were running a little bit late.
I asked that question too.
We'll do it next time. Take off these handlebars. And
It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Actually, that wasn't, it's just taking all the little wrappings off, but
oh yeah,
otherwise it's pretty much assembled.
I mean a lot of these bikes
Like the-
are not difficult, but for someone who has no experience putting a bike together, I feel like that's why the electric XP, in fact, I mentioned in my video today, if you literally have no experience, you could still do it, but you still need to, do the safety checks on the bike before you start riding it. But as far as assembly goes, let's actually pop open this quick release skewer. So yeah, so this frame really reminds me of the Pedigo element, and I believe you wrote that.
I think I did.
Yeah, you wrote about the Pedigo element, I think it was later on last year, and when we were actually in Florida, we had seen a couple Pedigos, the elements, which is their most affordable one. To be honest, I'm not actually sure what the price is currently, but this frame style, with the 20-inch wheels and then a lower step over. I wouldn't call this like a step through because it still has like a top tube, but kind of like a mid step and a lower step, so it's going to be accessible to more people.
Yeah, especially with a 20-inch wheelbase, that's effectively a step through.
Yeah. Which I think is, when you look at the market for electric bikes, most people purchasing them are a little bit older, want a little bit more accessibility, which is completely understandable. So let's see, maybe we'll have you help me lift up the frame here, and I'll slide this wheel in. And there we go. Yep. So far, the bike looks good.
Very solid.
Can't see, of course, you kind of never know what you're going to get with some of these new brands. I don't know if there's any other videos about Troxus online.
I hadn't heard of them even.
Yeah. A little bit, a different display than I've seen. Let's open up the toolkit.
Okay.
John says, how heavy is that bike? I think it said 34 kilograms on the box. I'm going to look up the weight and see what it says as well. But it's probably 60 some pounds would be my guess. Let's see. It says 72 pounds, and that doesn't seem like they're that doesn't seem too far off.
I've never seen it where they have the tightening bolts for the head tube on the front instead of the back.
Yes, I've seen that. I think it's because this is more of a riser. Because I've seen it, I think even on like the Rad,
Oh, really? Where they have it on the front.
is somewhat similar. I'm trying to remember what bike I've seen that on, but yeah.
You're gonna have to adjust before you tighten those too much, by the way, because it's already off.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll get them in there and then I'll straighten them
Yeah.
out. So yeah, they have an adjustable stem here, which is really good because obviously you're sitting a little bit lower, and you perhaps want those handlebars. Actually, it might just fall all the way down here. Let me get in there. Alright, so, and I have to give them some credit. The cable management here, all the cables come nicely down into a single spot there. Looks like we might have to slide there we go. Oh, actually, I'm gonna still have to take it up because I have to slide it up. So we'll see. Maybe we'll have to angle these handlebars up if they gave us the nail. So 72 pounds. That's so that's the thing. a lot of people don't realize how heavy some of these electric bikes are, and if you're not, comfortable, that's one of the reasons I see some people, they just can't handle an electric bike that heavy. I'll take the other one. There you go. It does have mounting points too up front here, but I'm not sure if I remember seeing that there was a front rack available. So that's interesting. Make sure this is. We should be able to do some adjusting here. Let's see.
That's probably a little low, huh?
Oh yeah, there we go. Get those up. And let's maybe try to get these handlebars straight as we can.
That's to remind you to hit the bell notifications so you can be notified of all of Ronnie's new videos.
There we go.
See how to work that in.
Nice.
Pretty slick, I thought.
So these are like some swept back bars.
Yeah.
I kind of like them. A little unique.
I get like the bat wing bars. I like that. Good style.
And
Kind of a comfort bike style.
Alright, we'll tighten those up a little bit more later. Let's see if they gave us one wrench big enough to, I'm not sure if they did. So there's the adjustment for this, I don't think they did. Let's see if I have
Pretty big ducks, huh?
I'm not sure if I even have one. Is it an 8? Nope, smaller than that. This should work.
That should.
There we go. We'll adjust this up because I know that I personally will need these handlebars higher.
That's a neat little hex out there.
Yeah, the Topic ratchet, mini ratchet is really nice. Let's get these way up. There we go. Something like that maybe. I think that's probably what I want. Let's tilt these up. There we go.
There we are.
It's an hour meter LCD. That's a new LCD. It's S700. Let's see. All right. You can lift the seat up
Yeah.
and see what the shorter seat post. There's the minimum insertion. Just kind of trying to gauge. I think that'll be plenty tall. And we'll put the pedals on, and we should be in pretty good shape. I mean, I definitely have to tighten those handlebars. All right, let's see. You want to pop open the charger, maybe?
Sure.
Again, a few folks have joined. So again, if you want to ask me anything, now is a great time. Not only about this electric bike, but any other electric bikes that you might be considering purchase, or maybe you even already own one.
If you have any cryptocurrency questions, let me know.
Left pedal. There we go. So we're gonna do the reverse thread on the left side. So turn it left to tighten on the left pedal. These are metal pedals. I couldn't see, they say VP-565. They look similar to the Wellgo pedals. Again, they're just, it's pretty common for electric bikes in this price range to just have some standard pedals, which for most people are just fine.
Key-Do, is that a common charger brand?
No.
No.
KEYU is the charger brand. Is it a 2 amp charger? Can you see if it says in there?
It is a
Like
2.5. No, wait, this is 2. I'll put it as 2.
Yeah, 2. Most of the time you're going to find 2 amp chargers. So I mean, if you're looking for an electric bike that doesn't have branding, I mean, this is a sticker, and it looks like they have some, you know, some stripes down there. But as far as branding goes, that's it. This thing, it's all black.
Yeah, I guess you could take that sticker off pretty easy, huh?
Yeah, if you
You
wanted to.
even see a little air bubble on it.
Yeah. So the battery, which we'll get to in just a second here, is the Rienshin Dorado Plus. Now, if you're not familiar, Rienshin is a manufacturer of like battery cases, and so you'll find their batteries on many electric bikes, and so you can perhaps more easily purchase a replacement or an additional one if you need one, which is nice. And I mean, they make, so this is obviously a somewhat semi-integrated. On the other side, it actually is a little bit more visible. But for instance, on the e-spin bike, it's an integrated battery pack into the frame, so a different look to it. All right. Let's see. We can put on the fender, I suppose, if there's hardware for it. I'm trying to think. It looks like it's already in here. Yeah. So I mean, everything. These are metal fenders. Which just feel a little bit nicer, I'd say. How much? $15.99. And the website for Troxus, again, it'll be in the description, but it's Troxus Mobility, TROXUS. 750 watt max speed of 20 miles per hour. They say they're using Samsung cells and backlit LCD, and I'm trying to see later in the specifications it says weight 57 pounds. I'm not sure what the difference there is.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't feel like 50 pounds.
Yeah, that might have been just and this is a 48 volt 14 amp hour battery, which is a very common size, and for most people that's plenty of capacity. And actually I was talking to someone recently, and we were kind of talking about battery capacities and how it's you know, there's definitely a difference between you know, having higher capacity. You know, most people don't need the additional range, and so something to think about, but most people generally don't need as much capacity. So put this through here. I need to grab that front light actually first. Looks like just a standard front light, but nice that they include one.
Have you found the included lights work pretty well, generally speaking?
Most often I find that they're great. They're good for like visibility at night, being seen, but they're not great as like an only light. I always recommend a secondary. So these are, I mean, this is a brand that I've seen. It's the Blaze light, and I think the rear one was the same. Let's see what size I need here. So it's nice that they're included. Of course, they run off the battery, so you're never going to be without a light, which is definitely nice. But as far as
I've definitely forgotten my light a couple times. Oh man.
yes, let's see, $150 discount with Ebike promo code. Yep, thanks Ron for pointing that out. I did see that earlier and had forgotten. So that brings this bike down to what, $14.50. So I'd say that's pretty competitive. Of course, you know, the one thing to keep in mind is, you know, my interaction with Troxus has been, you know, they wanted to send me a bike for review, so obviously you should perhaps reach out to them or do additional research. There's so many electric bike brands that are coming out these days, and so you just want to make sure you're buying from a company that, should you have issues, is going to stand by the product. So these, what is nice, I will say, about these fenders, I mean, we don't have them on yet, but it's actually an attachment point on the actual fork itself, which is nice, and I can see you got that one already in there as well.
Yep.
So that is a definite plus. Sometimes when they attach to, you know, the fork, it just doesn't feel quite as solid.
That makes sense.
So I like when they, and I mean, sometimes these can be pretty frustrating fenders to install, like adjustment wise, but I mean, this is, you know, one of the easiest for sure. You attach it to the mounting points exactly where it is. Seems like there's tons of clearance here, and so there's not going to be any issue at all. There we go. Yeah, I don't see any shipping damage or anything.
No, it looks pretty solid.
We'll just get this light tightened a little bit more, and then perhaps we can turn on the bike.
The welds look a little unskilled to me.
The what?
The welds.
Welds.
I mean, they look solid, but not like very aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, typically with some of these, the more affordable ones, the welds, they just don't quite look as polished. But I mean, they look fine. It's just they're visible.
And they look solid, but yeah, they're huge welds. Usually you see very, very tight welds on like nicer bicycles. But that's fine. What would you say would be the use case for this particular bicycle?
I think this could be like a beach cruiser. Someone who lives in an area where perhaps they want to take their bike on some bike paths that are like next to the beach, and then maybe even a little on the beach. You can lower that tire pressure. Someone who perhaps wants a lot of stability, because I do feel like, while the fat tires make it less efficient, they are super comfortable. I mean, even on our rad wagon, we lower the tire pressure, and you can definitely tell a difference. So, yeah.
I think this would be good for commuting for someone that doesn't live in a place with a lot of good bicycle infrastructure. We have to do like curb hopping or riding in some kind of rough terrain on the side of the road or something. You can handle it.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like this connector for the display, I just have to probably line up the arrows. I'm not sure if this came detached or should go in, no problem.
So you're pretty familiar with e-bikes, and you just kind of pulled it out of the box and put it together, but like a brand new person, do these usually come with instructions?
Usually a company will have like videos on how to do it, or hopefully you have some sources to reference. I would say some electric bike brands, I would say most, this is a very standard setup. Putting on the handlebars, putting on the front wheel, putting on the pedals, all very common things that you have to do with many brands. Some you have to install a front fork, which definitely is doable if you are a little bit mechanically inclined, but takes a little bit more effort. I was just going to page through this and see if there's anything as far as setup, but sometimes in their instruction manuals they will go through some of the ways, or online a lot of these companies have gone to like online only like installs, or they kind of part of their like support section of their website. They have some of that stuff, but
You know, I like this seat. This is more of an ideal seat.
like that smaller, little narrower seat. Yeah, that unbranded, but yeah, I could definitely see as someone who you know, is more of a cyclist.
I feel like this is probably equivalent to like the Pontiac you'd get with an entry level mountain bike.
Yeah.
Even though it's unbranded, but it's probably around, well, I don't know, it's a little rubbery.
Yeah. Looks like I have to tighten the. Definitely want to make sure you get this one tight, and I definitely did not do it enough the first time around. So they just include a few tools. In fact, I don't even know if they. This one fits. There we go. Got to tighten these bolts as well. I did not check them. That's why it's important that you know what you're doing when you assemble your electric bike. And even if you are going to assemble it yourself, if you can have a bike shop even take a look at it, you know, that's, you know, it won't cost you as much. They're just going to spend a few minutes taking a look around. I think I have another comment here. Luke, new manufacturing company. Yes, so company is called Troxus, and they are new to me. Troxus Mobility, and he says another AliExpress job. I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of e-bike equipment on AliExpress. And I mean, this isn't like a very, you know, it's not a, you know, we've seen frame styles similar to this bike before. Brakes will need some adjusting. I was just looking at the rear motor here. It says CZJV, 48 volt, 750 watt. So we'll be curious to see, is this a 750 watt motor that peaks significantly higher, or if it peaks at 750 watts. I'm going to go ahead and try to turn it on.
Yeah, it's funny because I think a lot of the e-bikes are basically AliExpress. Like, I mean, you know, so is your iPhone, right? Like,
yeah.
and some of those Chinese manufacturers are really good. You know, I think there's sometimes this perception that if it's made in China, it's not very good quality, but
I mean,
there's actually some really good manufacturers in China.
yeah, all electric bikes are pretty much made in China or another Asian country. Left-hand thumb throttle, the very common thumb throttle that I see on a lot of electric bikes. Unbranded brake levers, Shimano shifter here, trigger shifter, which is actually nice. And then Brian already showed you that bell earlier. And
reminder to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell.
and I think the online it said that the display was backlit. There we go. So there you can see the front light and the rear light. Again, that blaze light looks like it does not turn on with the brakes. It is on there, just on all the time. And I think if and it doesn't go on when you hit the brakes when the lights are off either. But holding the up button turns on that display, and it shows power, speed. Let's see what else we have. Odometer. It looks like I might have to change it to miles per hour.
Freedom units.
Yeah, 5 modes of pedal assist, and the speed should show up. It's. Let's see. Yeah, so there's the. I would say the display is decent. I mean, nice center display. I like that it's backlit. Hopefully you'll be able to read it during the day. Of course, I'll be doing a full review on this bike. And yeah, let's check out that get a feel for the suspension maybe, make sure it's not locked out. That feels decent enough. I still have to tighten those handlebars down though. And yeah, we can take off the battery. Maybe I'll show everyone how that looks. Again, the nice thing is it has the rear rack, rear fender's already installed. I didn't talk about the controller, but it's kind of hidden a little bit. They have these extra kind of plates to cradle that controller, and all the cables come in through the top of the down tube, and so there's a keyhole on this side, and there is a battery indicator on top of this, and you turn the key, and there's actually a nice little handle on this. Just pop that battery out, and yeah, so actually there is that sticker as well on the battery here. So yeah, just goes in nice and easy. 48 volt, 14 amp hour. Charger port at the bottom. USB port at the top to charge your phone. Doesn't look like there's any USB port at the top of the display, but let's see. Single wall chainring. I like the double ones, but not too terrible. Doesn't look like there's a chainstay protector, so if you want to protect your frame, you could put some 3M tape. That's what I always recommend. The motor cable. Where's the motor cable coming in here? So that's for the shifter, the derailleur. I see. It actually comes in on the inside of the other side of the bike here. So you have it's between kind of the nut that keeps the axle in place and the disc rotor. I'm not sure if I've seen that per se. Like normally you see kind of a cable coming out here and then it goes kind of in right here on the outside. It's very visible, but it's kind of clean the way this is, and it's usually, I would say most of the time it seems like it's on the right side. So yeah, max 25 kilograms on that rear rack. It's just like 50 some pounds.
That's 50 in freedom units.
And yeah, I think we're probably gonna wrap this up. If you have any other questions, I'll take a look. But yeah, excited. You can see like this has a very low step over height, so I can hop on very easily. Obviously, those handlebars, for a shorter person, this is probably going to be more comfortable. You lower that seat quite a bit, and the handlebars are going to be in a really nice position. Whereas I'll probably be a little bit more leaned over. But I mean, I knew that when I picked this bike because I wanted to try out this kind of style. It's got a little bit of a moped-esque feel to it, just because it's a little bit of a smaller bike. So yeah, I'm excited to check it out, and there'll be a full video review. Let's see. I think that's it.
All right.
Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Frugal BC for joining me. And please check out links in the description if you want to support me. If you're looking at these electric bikes, there will be a review out, in the next few weeks about the Troxus SkyHopper. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Luke says, looks like odd frame would be difficult to lock, not much room between the frame and the battery. Yeah, you can maybe slide a chain lock here, and you could maybe do something here. There's a little bit more room. We actually didn't talk about bottle cage bosses, but I'm not seeing any. So my guess would be, if it were me, I would probably buy the strap ones and maybe see if you could, the higher up you could put it here would be better. Obviously you don't want it to interfere with your getting your foot up But we have some on our electric bike accessories list where you can just kind of strap them everywhere. Otherwise, I have seen people, there is a little bit of handlebar space here, not a ton. Or maybe, the Roswheel bags that we both have bottle cages or bottle holders in the rear of them.
Dude, that's true.
So,
Go right on top of here.
so that's an option. Otherwise, I've seen lots of people recently with like custom brackets for the front here, so you could 3D print a bracket and then mount a bottle cage off to the right here. So that's a good point. All right, with that, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
See.